Hello YouTube, welcome back to my channel. My name is Victoria and I run a small crochet business called Divine Euphoria. Today I wanted to do a kind of like a rate and review type video for free patterns that I found on Instagram. More specifically, free patterns I found on Instagram that have to do with Valentine's Day. I thought that that'd be fun to do just because Valentine's Day is right around the corner, so I just wanted to provide some spotlight on these patterns. And I'll provide all the information for said patterns. That way, if you guys do want to make them, you can easily find them and make them yourselves. So without further ado, let's get started. I do have 7 patterns that I want to show you guys. So apologies in advance if this video does get kind of long. To be honest, I kept finding more patterns that I wanted to make to add to this video, but I was like, let me not get crazy, especially for our first one. So I figure 7 is a sweet spot as far as how many patterns. So for our first pattern, actually, let me tell you guys the criteria you'll be working with. So the way I'll be rating it is, first off, overall, out of 5 stars, what we'll be rating the pattern itself. I'll tell you guys the time that it took me to make it, the difficulty of the pattern, how well the pattern was written, was it clear, that type of thing. Would I make it again? And did it come out like the pictures on the Instagram post? I think that that's very important to put in a rating or a review if it did come out like the pictures, just because these are things that we need to know. So I definitely wanted to add that to my review. So let's go ahead and get started. Here is our first one. I get so excited whenever I see anything I've made because it's just so cool to think like this was literally a ball of yarn and now it's not. So this is called Lovebuzz the Bee. This pattern is by @Crochets, and then I'll put screenshots of them either here or here, I'm not sure where, but I'll put a screenshot of what the pattern looks like, or what the first slide of the pattern looks like, just so that you guys can see it and easily find it if you'd like to make it yourself as well. So this little guy took me 56 minutes to make. I like to think I'm a fast crocheter, but for some reason I feel like 56 minutes to make this is a long time. I don't know, you guys will have to let me know. I don't really make bees. I know that they were really popular on the crochet scene for a while. I never got into the trend. He's cute. I like this little guy. I like how it's Valentine's Day colors. The pattern itself was very easy to understand. The difficulty itself as well would be very easy just because you're doing single crochets. The hardest part I would say would maybe be the wings or the color changes. But again, the pattern was written very well. There's a lot of detailed instructions. I like how she gave you instructions for the eyes as well as a cute little pointer as far as the bottom of the bee. So before you put in the eyes, she did state, make sure that the place where you put the color changes, or where you started a new round, is on the bottom of the bee so that it didn't end up here, here, or here, which I feel like is very helpful for beginners as well as for us seasoned crocheters, just because sometimes we work too fast. So it was nice to get that little reminder so that I could just take a moment and be like, oh snap, let me make sure that that is on the bottom, which it wasn't. So good thing that she did put that there. My favorite part of the pattern would probably be the wings. So on the pattern that was on Instagram, the wings kind of look like hearts, and I feel like that's what the vibe she was trying to get from it was. For some reason, mine didn't come out looking as heart-like as hers or anybody in the pattern appreciation post that she did. I'm sure that's just a me problem, honestly. But I love how they came out anyways. The wings are probably my favorite part, honestly, just because they're so stinking cute. Oh, the back of my bee is a disaster. I don't know what happened, guys. I just kind of forgot how to crochet for a second or something. I really don't know. I like, what? She does have a option to add a stinger, which I feel like I should have done now that I think about it, to take away from the fact that I was gonna say crocheting with my eyes closed, but like I know how to do that, so that's not even an excuse. I don't know what happened here. So we're just not gonna look at that. We'll just appreciate him from the front and from the side. But yeah, here we go. I used a 4mm hook for this little guy, as well as Parfait Chunky. 4mm hook is my standard go-to. No matter what yarn I'm using, I'm always gravitating towards a 4mm hook. So if I can use it, I'm using a 4mm. So yeah, this is what I use for this guy. Again, this is by @Avalon Crochet. Next up, we have one of the cuter patterns, I think, that we made for this roundup, and it's this little guy. So this pattern is called Amusable Heart, I believe is how it's pronounced. And this is by @perfect.crochet. Perfect is spelled PURFECT.crochet. This little guy took me 1 hour and 22 minutes, which, considering what it is, I feel like it's definitely worth it. Like, this guy took me 56 minutes and this guy took me 1 hour and 22 minutes, which is crazy. But yeah, I love him so much. I used a 4.5mm hook for the body and then a 4mm hook for the legs. All of it was done in Little Bunny by Premier. He's so freaking cute. I wanted to show you guys, I got a actual jelly cat last Valentine's Day, and it's actually crazy how much they resemble each other. Check it out. Like, what? They're actual twins. I feel like this could be like the mom and then this is like the baby or something. But like, the resemblance is uncanny, guys. Isn't that wild? So I'm very proud of him. I feel like he's very realistic looking. I would say this definitely came out cuter than the pictures that was on the pattern. But I think it might be biased, first of all, because it's mine. Or because of Little Bunny. Something about using Little Bunny yarn just makes everything like 1,000 times cuter. 1,000 times more difficult to crochet with, obviously, but so worth it. Like, stop it. The legs themselves, I feel like, could have been crocheted in, so I did want to mention that they were sewed on. As you can see, mine are sewed on 2 different thank God this is just for me, but they're sewed on 2 different, like, this one's way back here, this one's way up here, because after 1 hour and 10 minutes of crocheting this hard, I was just like low-key over it. So I stopped using a stitch marker for the legs because I'm like, well, I don't need one. You guys, I did in fact need one. Do you see how skinny this leg is and how fat this one is? And how tall this one is and how short this one is? Like, absolutely needed a stitch marker. Use your stitch marker, guys. That's my advice. But since he's sitting, you can't really tell, thank God. Also, this is, again, just for me, so it doesn't really matter, but I love him just the same. The pattern itself was very simple and easy to understand. You're just using single crochets, increases, decreases, basic stitches. So very easy. You just embroider on the mouth, which is kind of hard to see with Little Bunny. I feel like I should have double stranded it, but he's fine. You can tell. But yeah, and then I use 12mm eyes, which I feel like is the perfect size. I feel like 12mm eyes are like a 4mm hook to me. Like, that's like my go-to. Like, if I can use 12mm, I'm using them. So yeah, definitely rate this one 5+ stars. And again, this is by @perfect.crochet. I did want to mention, actually, before I move on to the next pattern, I was looking through her profile and she has so many more that have like this same style as far as the feet go. So I definitely can't wait to make more of her patterns for you guys for the upcoming videos that are going to be part of this series. I saw like a coffee cup one, which I'm really excited to do because I want to do like a food and drinks episode, so that'll definitely be included in that. All right, next we have one of my other favorites. I didn't know if I should include this one in this roundup just because I don't know if it would be considered a Valentine's Day, but I consider cherries, they remind me of Valentine's Day, so we're adding it. Plus it's red, so look at how cute, you guys. Oh my gosh. So this pattern is called Cherry Babies, and this is by @Chubby Crochet. That's spelled TRIPPAY crochet. Isn't it so cute? So in the pattern on Instagram, I would say it's probably like this short. It's just how she says to do it is more so for a keychain maybe, or like a charm. But the second I saw it, I knew I wanted it to be a car hanger. So in the pattern, I believe she said to crochet maybe 20. For the stem, I crocheted 50. So if you guys are wanting to make it into a car hanger as well, that's how many I crocheted, 50. The pattern itself was very well written, easy to understand. The difficulty level alongside that would be easy just because you're doing single crochets only for the cherries themselves. I would say the most difficult part would be, they even look cute without eyeballs. Like even that way would be cute. I wonder if they'd look cute with smiles. What do you guys think? Should I put smiles on them? I feel like I should. I'm gonna try that. Anyways, the most difficult part of the pattern I would say would be the leaves, just because you're working in a chain and then working on one side of the chain and then the other side of the chain as well. But it's basic stitches. You have your, I want to say single, half double, and double is what you're using to make these leaves. I did want to also mention the leaf is made in one piece. Like when I initially saw the pattern, I thought it was going to be 1 leaf and 2 leaf, right? No, it's just one long leaf that just looks like 2 leaves, which obviously is easier and more convenient for us as crocheters. So yeah, here we go. And then as far as the cherries themselves, I did put a glue gun dot right in the middle of these 2 little guys, and then I stuck them together just because they were like flopping all over the place, especially because they're going to be car hangers. They're going to be swaying and swinging. I'm a good driver, but you never know. So I did want to put a glue dot just so that they could both at least have their faces facing the same way. But yeah, here we go. I don't know if I said, but he took me 35 minutes to make, which is so nice because I definitely would make these for markets just because they're so cute. I've already had a bunch of people ask me if I would make them one. So I feel like for market prep, this would be a good idea just because, again, they're just so cute. Yeah, here we go. These are, again, cherry babies. And this is by @Chubby Crochet. All right, next up we have possibly one of the littlest, cutest babies. We have our little tiny heart chick. Like, you guys, how cute is he? This is by @Keen Make Crochet, I believe it is. So it's K-E-I-N Make Crochet. He's so cute. This little guy took me 35 minutes to make, which I think is so quick. So I'll definitely be making him again. I feel like for market prep, these also would be good. Not just in pink, but even in regular colors. Like, knock it off. He would be so cute in even regular colors. My eyes, obviously I glued them. You guys, I don't know why I have so much trouble gluing eyes equally. Like, do you guys have trouble with that too? Like, obviously this guy is like way too far up, or this guy is way too far back. Either way, like, I'm a stitch off. It makes me sad. This one is just for me too, so no biggie, but still. At least he looks good from the side view. He just looks a little special from the front view. So we'll give him on the side. The hardest part I would say for this pattern was probably this top part here, which I can't remember the name of. I don't know why I could not for the life of me figure it out. So I kept either starting way too up or way too back. It took me a couple tries to get it just right. But once I did, it came out so good. The beak was easier to do. It's pretty straightforward, especially because you're placing the eyes first, so you know where to line the beak up with. And then this wing, I would say that the instructions for the wing could have been worded a little bit better, because you're doing the wing kind of how we did the leaves in the cherry babies that I just showed you guys. So you're making a chain, right? And then you're working on one side and then working on the reverse side of it. But the pattern doesn't specify that you have to work on the reverse side of it. So I wasn't sure if I should be chaining one and then working like in rows, or like I wasn't sure. So it did take me a couple of tries to figure out that it had to be in a round, or, you know, on the reverse side, however that would be called. But once I figured that out, it was obviously super easy. But yeah, here we go, this little guy. He did come out like the picture. And then, yep, this one is by Keen Make Crochet. Right, next up, we have possibly one of my favorites of this series. I know I'm gonna say that a couple more times, but this little guy is so cute. Oh my god, stop it. Like, how cute. So this little guy here is called the heart snail. I made him using a 4mm hook and parfait chunky. This pattern is by @LittleBeanCrochet, and he took me 1 hour and 2 minutes to make, which for being as simple of a pattern as it is, I feel like is a bit long, but I guess time is like relative, right? Like 1 hour and 2 minutes might be a lot to me, but might not be a lot to you. But I feel like this tube, like, it would have been quick, right? So like, what took me so long? It's so miniature, but whatever. The pattern itself is very well written. She did a good job of explaining everything. I would say the most difficult part of the pattern would be these peacock stitches, but she explains how to do these in the very first couple of slides. So if you don't know how to do a peacock or you've never done one before, she does explain how to do them. As far as the peacocks go, I did want to mention, just if you are making this pattern, make sure your peacocks end up on the right end of your crochet project. If you make amigurumi, you know that there's a wrong side and a right side, especially when working with chenille yarn. So just make sure that you do have your peacocks end up on the right side, not the wrong side. Mine ended up on the wrong side, which you can't really tell, but I know, so just wanted to mention that. I love how the heart came out. I had someone suggest, which I wanted to do too, to have the heart, like the bumps facing that way, so the bumps facing out. But because we're resting his head on a bump, if we were to have the bumps facing out, he would be like doing a little back bend. And this is by @LittleBeanCrochet18. 5 stars for sure. 5+ maybe. All right, next up we have, I know I just said it, but this one also might be my favorite. To preface this pattern, I'm absolutely obsessed with sloths. Like, I have an unhealthy obsession with sloths and yarn, obviously, but definitely sloths too. I actually have one right next to me, as you guys can see. I'm pretty sure I just dropped my hook. We love that for me. And then I also have a big sloth right here. So when I saw this pattern, this was one of the last patterns that I added to this roundup. I couldn't not add it though because of the fact that it was a sloth. He did take forever, but was well worth it. Like, isn't it so perfect? So this pattern is called, sorry guys, I'm trying to get my camera just right. This pattern is called the Clingy Valentine Sloth, and this is by @KnottedAngels, knotted.angels, sorry about that. So this little guy took me a total of 2 hours and 49 minutes to make. The heart itself took me 1 hour and 34 minutes, and then the sloth took me 1 hour and 15 minutes. I crocheted this using a 4.5mm hook and little bunny. Look how furry he is, and the heart too. I also wanted to mention in the picture, which next time when I make it I'm definitely gonna do, she embroidered the eyes on to make it straight, so it just looks like the sloth is sleeping. I should have done that. I don't know why I didn't. I guess I just wanted to use safety eyes, but next time I'll definitely be doing the sleeping look. The instructions were very clear and helpful. There was a bunch of pictures that you could look at as well. The difficulty, I would say, is easy because you're not really doing that much complicated stitches. It's all single crochets. The most difficult part would probably be the arms. So how you do the arms, they are crocheted in, they're not sewn in or anything. How you do the arms is you leave chain 4 spaces when you're crocheting the body, or when you're crocheting that part of, or that round, you're just going to chain 4, skip 4, and then continue on. So you do that for all of the arms and the legs, and then you go back once you're done with the body itself, and you're going to crochet in those spaces. So it ends up being 10 crochets for the arms and the legs too. I stopped using a stitch marker for the arms and the legs, which is why they are 2 different sizes. As you can see, this one's a little bit longer. Same thing with the heart with the legs, right? But yeah, it's pretty straightforward as far as that goes. I would say another difficult part would obviously be the head, just because of all the color changes. You're using 3 different colors here, so it does get a little bit hectic, but it's only for about 4 rounds, I want to say, that you're doing the color changes, so it's not too bad. When you're crocheting the body, it's coming out looking like a oval or like a pill type of vibe, so just be mindful of that. That's normal. The heart itself, I think, was such a beautiful pattern in itself. Like, if we take off the sloth, the construction of the heart is just so spot on. Like, you guys, look, I obviously was doing a bad job decreasing because there's a bunch of holes in here where you can see the stuffing, so don't mind that. Just focus on the shape of the heart. Like, how perfect of a heart is this? Sometimes when you're crocheting, I don't know if this has ever happened to you guys before, but sometimes when you're crocheting, the heart will come out very, like, there's no, like, kind of like that, right? Like, it's not like pointed at all like a heart should be. And I feel like this one was just so well written. I want to show you guys this one so you don't pay attention to the openings. But yeah, so this pattern alone, like for the heart alone, I feel like is worth the 0 cents that you're paying for the pattern. Like, I would definitely, and I plan on doing that, like using thicker yarn and just making the heart as an accent pillow or a throw pillow. That way it's a little bit bigger, or even just using a bigger hook. But yeah, I'm obsessed with how this pattern came out. I cannot wait to put this on my bed and add this sloth to my very extensive collection. I would definitely rate this pattern 5 stars, of course. And then last but not least, okay, I promise this is the last time I'm going to say this, but this is hands down my favorite project. So this one, I was actually about to start filming this video with the 6 other patterns that I had, but then I was scrolling and I found this little guy and I'm like, yeah, we're doing you too. The thing is, I thought that it would take like 35 minutes max to do this little guy, so I'm like, okay, well, I could still like record it at a reasonable time. No, not at all. Joke was on me. This little guy took a total of 1 hour and 34 minutes. I would absolutely make him again and definitely plan on making him again in the very near future because of how cute he came out. Like, look at our little guy here. Stop it. Isn't he adorable? So this pattern is called the Chubby Frog with Heart. That's what the pattern is called on Instagram. And it's by the Loopy Fairy with 2 Y's at the end. Isn't it so adorable? So in her pattern on Instagram, she does do it with a smiley face. I make booty toads for my Etsy. They're my bestseller, and those booty toads, did you see those reflexes? That was like super fast. Those booty toads have straight faces, so I wanted to do an ode to those booty toads by giving this little guy a straight face. I did also try and give him a booty, but that did not work out because I don't know if it was the yarn or what, but it just didn't work out, which is fine. So yeah, that's why I gave him a straight face. I used Parfait Chunky for the heart, and then I used Feels Like a Dream for the frog itself, which is by Lion Brand. This was all made with a 4mm hook. So I'm not sure if you guys have seen it in the stores yet. I feel like it was new to me, so just in case it's new to you guys, this is what the Feels Like a Dream yarn looks like. As you can see, you cannot see this yarn at all, like the strand. Just for comparison, here's Feels Like Bliss. As you can see, you can definitely see the strand of yarn. And with Feels Like a Dream, you can't. I would say they feel... Okay, this one feels a lot lighter and like cloud-like. It looks like it would be scratchy, right? And like low-key, I thought it was when I was feeling it at the store. I'm like, I don't get the hype, but like definitely get the hype. So I got it in the green color that I used for my frog, and then I got it in this black, and then I also got it in white. So I plan on making a panda bear with the black and the white, so we'll see how that goes. But back to our frog. So yeah, this was made with Feels Like a Dream. The stitches are impossible to see, so I thought working with Little Bunny was hard, or even Feels Like Bliss, Feels Like a Dream is like, feels like a nightmare working with those stitches. So it was definitely difficult, definitely tried my patience. That's probably why it took me so long. So it took me 1 hour and 34 minutes instead of just 34 minutes. I'm sure if I used Parfait Chunky, it would have been a lot quicker. But where's the fun in that, right? So yeah, you can't see your stitches at all, and it's hard to even feel for them. So it was just a struggle well worth it though. So when you're making the pattern by the way itself is very clear, concise. She does so many pictures. The assembly instructions at the end are so detailed and so clear. I definitely appreciated all the pictures that she added. Picture 1, picture 2, picture 3, picture 4, just step by step. Like, love that. Good job. The body itself though, so if you can imagine this without this and without this, this is literally what the body looks like when you're done with said body. So when you're closing it off, this is what it's gonna look like. The legs, as you can see or not really see here, they're like super tiny. So the legs you're crocheting are only 3 rounds wide or long, long, you know what I mean. So they're tiny. So you can't really like even gauge that they're legs, which I feel like maybe is the point because it is a chunky frog. So yeah, so I would say very much just trust the process while you're making the body, because once you add the eyes, the arms and everything, it just, oh my gosh, it's just so stinking cute. I didn't have a chance to look through her other patterns before I made this video, so I'm definitely gonna do that, and we will see what else we can make by the Loopy Fairy, just because if this came out this cute, like, I'm excited to try more of her patterns. I feel like I want to make this like our mascot, right? Like, he's just so cute. Obviously we're gonna rate this pattern 5+ stars, so we'll give this like a 50 stars. So yeah, there we go. 7 patterns for you guys, all free on Instagram that you can pull up yourselves, all fairly quick makes, besides obviously the Sloth, which took forever, but all so worth it. It's crazy to me what you can find on Instagram these days and how all of these patterns are truly free. So if you don't have money to buy patterns, there's so much that's easily accessible to you as far as patterns go that you can still make that are super cute. Like, this pattern, realistically, if I saw this on Etsy, I would have bought this pattern. But like, I was able to find it on Instagram for $0.00. Like, isn't that crazy to think about? So I definitely want to continue on with this series just so that I can shine some spotlight on these creators that are being so generous and so nice to us crocheters and providing us with these free patterns. So I definitely plan on making this series a regular thing. I definitely think that it's our you know, job to, as crocheters, just shine some light on all of these designers and pattern makers, and, you know, give them their kudos for as hard as they work for these patterns. So I'm excited to get started and keep going with this series. I have so many ideas of other topics that I want to explore. So like I was saying earlier, or I'm not sure if I said it earlier, but I do want to start doing like food and drinks. I want to do land animals, sea animals, characters, spooky, like anything you can think of. I'd want to obviously keep up with the holiday themes. So like next we'll do St. Patty's Day, and then so on and so forth. We'll do seasons. There's just so much to explore, guys, and I'm so excited and hope that you'll take that journey with me, just because I feel like there's so much that we can explore and so much that we can find. So hopefully you guys will be excited, as excited as I am to delve into all of that. My next video along these lines, instead of doing free patterns, I also want to do paid patterns. So we'll do the same rate and review type system, but do paid patterns on Etsy instead, just in case that's a route that you guys want to explore as well, so that I can give you guys some ideas and some patterns to look through. So with the paid patterns, just because I'm sure that it'll take a little bit longer to make and to review, I'll probably only do 5-ish for that type of series, or that subset of the series. So we'll do a free version and a paid version of whatever the topic is. So the next one I do, obviously, like I said, will be the paid Valentine's Day patterns. I'm excited to do the paid ones too, honestly, because I'm excited to work through my own pattern inventory that I have, because I have actually maybe 200 to 300 patterns that I've bought, and I've made maybe 1% of them. It's embarrassing, I know, but like I said, I'm excited to work through those patterns. So I already have the Valentine's Day patterns bought, so I'm going to work on those as soon as possible, and I'll get that video out to you guys as well. Leave me a comment letting me know what was your favorite pattern from today, and then also if you have any recommendations for future topics that you want me to do or anything like that. Let me know if you guys have a pattern for, or not a pattern, if you have a name for our little guy here. Like I said, I definitely do want to make him our mascot. I just don't know what his name should be. Thank you guys so much for tuning in. I definitely appreciate you taking the time to watch my video, and I hope to see you guys soon.